You got Jacob with the 50. Sam, one time you said architecture was the highest form of art. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I don't know if I'm the guy to make a definitive statement like that, but that's the definitive statement I would make if I were to make one, which I did. I believe you. I'm not going to argue with you and say that I didn't say that, but that sounds crazy. But I think that what the fuck is? One second. Let me find out what these guys are called. Um, the art. What's the highest form of art? A lot of people are like, back when movies first came out, they were like, I think Kierkegaard made the argument that movies are the highest form of art because they contain all other forms of art. Contains writing and visuals and but that's like anybody can see that that's not the truth. And that's the argument that Jonathan Blow made after making Braid about video games, is that games are the highest form of art because games combine all the above and
movies.
they're interactive, and movies and they're interactive, which is just not the case. It's just observably, viewably not the case. I think books, something about your mind filling in the gaps, and it's also like the most direct way of telepathically communicating with another person is via a book. The thing about movies, this is a great thing to be talking about with 6,000 people. How fast are we losing people as I'm rambling about this like an idiot? Oh, good. Okay. There's something about making film, making video. Like most of what I've ever made that's good has been accidental. That has been something that I massaged. After this accident happened, I massaged it into a state that made it look deliberate. Anything I've ever made that looks good, and I know enough about filmmaking to know that the image that you have in your mind before you set up in front of something with a camera, it never looks like the end result. It's just not. Nobody. There are filmmakers who are known for being fastidious and like obsessive and hyper focused on little details. But even with a mind like that, you are not in control of the final image. There's so much that happens accidentally. There is so much that happens and it's not even big accidents. It's just like the way that the light falls on a certain person's face when they're turned this way is something that your mind never could have made an allowance for before you were looking at it through an actual camera. So filmmaking is very not deliberate. It's also a fucking mess. Like trying to get more than two people in a room at the same time to do some coordinated action is a fucking mess. And even the best people in the world do not have that much control over the final product. They steer it in a direction, but their ability to steer it is limited. And I would guess that the same. I mean, I don't even have to guess. I've made enough crap in my stupid career to know that this is the case with video games. Like if you're through a game and you're gonna run out of money, you're gonna encounter some fucking weird gremlin that makes the whole game look weird, or when you have this texture and they're finally juxtaposed together, and you have whatever post-processing over it, it looks weird. It looks not like what you expected. This stuff is all accidental. With books, it is that's not as much the case. Like books is the one where it's such a limited and basic canvas for your craft that you can exercise extreme control over it. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Is not relevant to the architecture thing. But yeah, I was thinking if the one art form that probably is the most difficult, transcendental, where it has the highest capacity for beauty, it has the highest capacity to make a the highest capacity to affect the psyches of like regular people, of everybody, and is also the one that's the most transcendent. And by transcendent I mean it's like reaching towards God is what architecture does. And with all this stuff is made by men. Women are basically never any good at this shit. Women architects, the stuff they make is like from the devil. There's this one Saudi or Indian architect that's famous for making a bunch of stuff in London. Her name's like Kalipa Noor or some shit. And the stuff she makes, it looks like a glass vibrator. It's fucking nuts. Women with their bodies create the ultimate. This is from Frank Yang. This is a Frank Yang thing. Women with their bodies, just via a biological act that they have naturally, produce the highest thing that can be produced, which is a human life, obviously. Okay, and men, all the activity that men do is an attempt to, I don't know, be as good as that. That's part of what the psychology that's going on there. Women can just, and this is not to denigrate childbirth, but it's built in with them that they can, by default, and there's a lot of nasty people out there being born. Okay, there's a lot of people on OnlyFans shaving their heads, making their husband take their last, these types of things. But we're talking about art forms. We're talking about books, movies. There's a lot of bad books. There's a lot of bad movies. There's a lot of bad music. Okay, there's a lot of bad people being born. But the act itself is like the highest act, and they have it by default. They don't even have to. It's very difficult. They have to work for it, but it's not something that like they have to spend their whole life striving for. Okay, yeah. So men have to do all this bullshit to come half as close. And I think that my hunch, not having thought about it a lot, is that architecture is the one where the medium or the act is the closest to giving life. It's creating shelter. It's reaching out to God. It's building it's a collective thing. It's a civilizational thing. So that's why I said architecture is the highest art form. But I'm not really. I'm not an art historian, so I don't know. Maybe maybe VR games is the highest art form.
Because it has movies, interactive, and it's real.
And a headset.
None of your business. Welcome to Severe Beast. Should we do something crazy?
Nah, I'm tired, and I also have COVID-27. We could break the camera.
Yeah, I was thinking we could break something. Did you see me scanning around the room for things to break?
We don't have any breakables. Where's our breakables?
We usually have breakables. Steven Strang with the 25. MD never dies. Yo, what is good with all this wasted negative space in your frame? I urge you to put scuffed realtor advertising on here and in general. That is the best content you have, period. I hope you are well, JK.
Oh, coming at me there. Yeah, let me know when you stream. I'm going to give you some fine words, sir. I got some words for you, my friend.
Artuzzi with the 50. Yo, Sam and Jet.
Artuzzi.
Sammy, I've been a long-time fan since Big Curls Move. Just want to say that I agree with Froggy that you're the GOAT of comedy. Thanks for all the laughs over the years. God bless you, and hashtag Free Froggy.
Wakanda.
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 Liquid Mike dropping in the 5. Thank
Liquid
you, man.
Mike.
Retowed with the 25. If you aren't planning on selling DVDs, why would video quality matter for World Peace 2 when the U.S. has some of the worst internet? Dumb U.S. idiot. How will we see the original quality you wanted us to see?
It's World Peace 2. It's not imperative that you watch it in high quality. It's not. We're using. We're not using cameras or lenses that produce beautiful images, and furthermore, that type of beauty comes across in 240p at a low bit rate anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You'll probably want to watch it from wherever we sell it will be the place to watch it, just because the graphics will have those don't carry over as well with a lower bit rate, but you're right. USA is dumb.